Even by the deadly standards of mining in the 1800s, the explosions at Oaks Colliery were catastrophic. Hundreds killed, the youngest just 10 years old.
And as we come here, there's a particular poignant grave that reflects that well.
5 sons who died in the disaster.
Yeah, so the Winter family were from Barnsley. All the 5 children were born in Barnsley.
It's stories like that which Stephen Miller has uncovered with the help of Heritage Lottery funding.
It really ranks up there in terms of peacetime disasters throughout English history. So with the bubonic plague right at the top, various maritime disasters, and then so the Oaks Colliery disaster is well up there. And it's in a way hard for us to imagine now, especially because these were men and boys that all lived where they worked.
They perished underground in a series of devastating methane gas explosions. The day after the first blast, 27 rescuers were also killed when they ventured underground. Recent research has now revealed there were 383 victims in total, more than originally thought. This is the site of the former Oaks Colliery. It later became Barnsley Main. The explosions happened about a mile away from here, and the remains of 169 of those who died are still buried 400 feet underground. Less than a mile from where they died is Christchurch at Ardsley, which is planning a special service to mark the 150th anniversary of the disaster.
Particularly, we're only a year after the last mine closed. I think to hold and to remember not just the men and boys who died in that incident, but actually to use it as a memorial for the mining industry. And not just the men and boys, but the women and the families, the children whose lives were impacted by the loss of their loved ones.
In the grounds of Christchurch are forgotten and so far the only memorial to the victims, paid for by public subscription. 33 of those who died were buried in a pauper's grave in this unmarked plot of land in Barnsley Cemetery.
I think it cost 6 shillings for a gravestone, 6 shillings for a burial, sorry, which would be about 20 quid in today's money.
And that was beyond most ordinary people at that time.
Yeah, and the mine owners didn't pay anything for the burials. They had to be paid for by the families.
Campaigners are halfway to raising £130,000 for a new memorial by the sculptor Graham Ibbison, while Stephen Miller will be leading a series of history walks, and there'll be an exhibition at Barnsley Town Hall telling the story of the disaster. It may have happened 150 years ago, but the aim is to make sure it's never forgotten. David Hurst, ITV News, Barnsley.